det er den samme, det er bare to forskellige, men. Hvor skete det? Er den der?
Ja.
Vent lidt.
Far, vi inverterer. Ej, er der nu?
What brings you? King's honor, friend. Well met.
Jeg er nu tarmtur.
Det var godt.
Ej, far, det var altså ikke det nu.
Nå.
Den driller mig altså. Nu, far, det er der, hvor du drømte. Det var altså...
Den der.
Og så trykker du ikke på dig.
Nå, på den måde. Nu kommer der en. Hvad skal du være, politi eller røver?
Politi.
Kan man se, om der er plads, så.
Far, se, det var jo ikke den.
Nej, det er en anden bane. Det er fordi, at den skal lige spille færdig, den der, så kommer den anden.
Hey, alle sammen.
I am honored. Need help or the Alliance? What can I do for you? Light bless you.
Ej, far. Lidt far. Nej, far, det var...
Den der.
Nej, tryk der på. Og så er det... Nej. Nej, far,
Man
ikke?
skal have alle, det er fordi, det er, man er nødt til at trykke på dem alle sammen, fordi ellers så er den gået i udu en gang imellem.
Men hvad er det kun den? For jeg trykker altid ikke på det alle.
se de to der, så tror jeg, den virker.
What? Far?
Mhm.
Work complete.
To make good decisions and bad decisions. That's not going away anytime soon. It's on us. It's not him. It's us doing it. You got to go through it and pay the price. 88% of S&P 500 companies, their largest shareholder is either State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock.
Why does God allow pain and suffering and evil to exist in this world?
Although before we go into that, you might have noticed that our intro today was on fire. It was so good, the background music was crazy, and you're probably thinking to yourselves, holy moly, Graham, where did you get that music? Well, thankfully, our sponsor, Epidemic Sound, right there now. So no joke, guys, we've been subscribed to Epidemic Sound for over 3 years now, and we use them across multiple channels on a regular basis, and they're our go-to for copyright-free music.
As a creator, having copyright-free music is crucial, and Epidemic is the only place we trust to have the exact type of music or sound effects we're looking for. They have a massive library of over 40,000 tracks and 90,000 sound effects, and they work with carefully selected artists and give them a fair 50-50 split on streaming revenue. And that's why their business model is an easy one to support.
My favorite thing about Epidemic is their ear feature, which works as an extension of the Find Similar feature, allowing you the ability to highlight a specific part of a track and search for music that sounds similar. Their personal plan is ideal for content creators since it covers most platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and podcasts. So click the link down below in the description and use our code ICH to get a free 30-day trial. And also, everything you post during your trial period is even protected if you cancel.
Guys, it's free. There's literally no risk. Try it out with code ICH. I guarantee you'll love it. And now with that said, let's get back to the podcast.
So Pat, thank you so much for coming back on. It's been almost exactly a year that you were on the last time. Really
Yeah, of
appreciate
course.
it.
I love the work you guys are doing. So,
Thank you.
You were just on Rogan, too.
Yes.
For the second time, right?
yes.
Which is absolutely incredible. Like, that is the hallmark of being, basically at this point,
a very important and impactful person. Can you walk us through how that invitation went, how the experience went? And you were also very gracious to give him a bunch of very thoughtful gifts on the podcast.
Well, to me, Joe's the GOAT. You know, in the space of, if you look at the wall right there, the Wall of Fame, and all the names that we have there with Elvis, Tupac, JFK, Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Tiger Woods, Kobe, Tom Brady, Ali, Dave Chappelle, Senna, Michael Jordan, and Joe Rogan. I think Joe's the GOAT of what he does. The last 3 years, he showed it was more than just entertainment, it's enlightenment. He's getting people to think. He was, I think, one of the most, if not the most super necessary voice the last 3 years. But in regards to how it happened, I mean, I've been following Joe for a while. I'm a fan of following Joe's content. And I messaged him a few years ago. We were just complimenting him on the work he's doing. About a year and a half after that, he messaged me, says, hey, Pat, I want to do a podcast with you. I went out. And this time around, it was more around me wanting to give him a gift after he opened up his new comedy club. And if you've not been to this comedy club, this was a movie theater before. The place is sick. It's insane. The behind the scenes, the rooms, the way it's set up. Everything has a messaging. He's got the wall from back in the days, the people he bought it from. There's a whole story to it. It's 2 different clubs that goes at the same time. He performs there, I think, 3 times a week, 2 times on the nights, but 3 times a week. And this time it was just, hey, if you come in to give me the gifts, let's do another podcast together. I'd love to, and then boom, it led to the conversation that it did.
That's fantastic. I heard he only has 4 employees right now running the entire podcast business.
It's not a lot of employees, 4 or 5 employees, but the facility is, let me tell you, the facility is insane. You know, we came, he gave us a tour to back, and Vinny accidentally steps on the floor where they practice jiu-jitsu. Joe's like, what are you doing? Vinny takes his foot off, and you see all the artwork. Just visualize, I would say 100, 200 pieces of art laying against the wall because he has no more room for wall.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's a good facility. It's a massive facility. Full-blown gym. He's got a room just purely for archery. And then his guys are there. You talk to his guys. They love working for Joe. Absolutely love working for him. But it's an incredible facility.
So it's interesting going on different podcasts because I was on yours yesterday and I was shocked at the amount of research and the attention to detail that you put into these podcasts. How much goes into that prior?
Great question. So it depends. So for example, for the first, I don't know, 8 years of me doing podcasts, I'm the researcher. Nobody researches for me. So I'm the guy that's reading the book. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm watching the videos, taking notes. I have a format of how I take notes. And whether I start off with facts, then I go to topics, then I go to questions I want to ask. That is the format. I like having facts, and I like having topics and issues, and then I go to questions that I want to ask. And then now we have a whole research team that gives us content. You know, whether if I'm interviewing somebody and it's more of a valuetainment interview, it's just more stuff that's related to you, and then other items that I may want to bring up to get your opinion on that maybe we haven't heard you comment on. Yeah, there's a lot of preparation. I'm sure you saw we now have 74 full-time employees. That are working at Valuetainment. A part of it is with the consulting firm. Consulting firm is growing extremely rapidly right now. Minect, our app right now, we got 70,000 downloads the last couple months with Minect. How familiar are you with Minect, what it does?
I got a 10-minute pitch and I downloaded it.
Okay, so Minect is, think about 7 years ago or so, lawyer of mine I talked to, we had a 7-minute call. Yeah. He charges me for 30 minutes. And I call him up and I said, why do you charge me for 30 minutes? We had a 7-minute call. He says, that's what lawyers do. Minutes roll up. I said, not to 30 minutes. He said, well, you know, what do you want me to do about it? I said, you got to charge me for 7 minutes. He says, I can't do that. I said, what are you worth by the minute? He says, no lawyer charges by the minute. I said, what if there is a technology where I get to pay for people's time by the minute? So that's when we came up with, do you have a minute to connect? Let's Minect. Minect is the app. So on Minect, if I send a DM to somebody, if I want to get a question answered by somebody, most people don't respond back to DMs. About 90% of DMs get unanswered. On Minect, you're going to get an answer back because you're paying Graham $200 for a question. He responds back. You make 80% of that. Minect keeps 20% of it. If they want to see a video being responded back from me in a video format, answering the question, hey, Graham, you run a YouTube channel with 4 million subscribers, a video may be $400. But if I want to do a 15-minute FaceTime with you, you get to pick and choose what you want to charge by the minute. $50 a minute. You do a FaceTime. Your face is up here. Their face is down here. It's done well. So we have a whole team for Minect. Then we have product development division. And then we have our cutters, editors, shredders. We have our production team here. We have the folks that are running our cigar lounge, our buildings, the next projects that we're working at, about to buy 10 acres to build a campus that will be doing our docs, movies, all that stuff. So it's growing. I think within a year and a half, we'll be at around 250 employees. If our HR team speed can catch up, we'd be at 120 employees right now.
I hear Andrew Tate is doing quite well on there.
Andrew Tate did very well there. I want to say their first month, they made $100,000 on Minect.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I think they $93,000. It may be between $90,000 to $100,000 their money on Minect. You can go ask questions from them on Minect, Tristan Tate, but you can ask questions of Chaz Palminteri. You can ask questions from bodybuilders. You can ask questions from consultants, those who raise money. It's a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And you also recently interviewed Andrew Tate for the second time.
Yes.
14 million views in 1 month, which is absolutely astounding. I know for that podcast, extra amounts of research went into it. Can you walk us through maybe like the prior 3 days before that podcast?
Great question. So here's what we do. When we do big interviews, it is extra amount of research that we do. You're looking at topics, issues, questions, current events, but you're looking at top 3-5 angles. You can't be a, regular person that's asking the same exact questions. Give me the keys to success, or give me the keys. So tell me what happened here. It has to be angles. If your angles aren't unique, no one's interested. People are interested in unique angles, right? When I get interviewed on different podcasts, I'm like, okay, here we go again. This is another question that's been asked a million times, right? When we did the podcast last time, a lot of clips took off for you guys because you guys did the right job asking questions to get content that maybe hadn't been heard before. That's what the audience wants to see, right? So when we got to Romania the night before, I don't know how many hours it was. I would say we sat there at a table for 6 hours to prep on what angles to take with the interview. And when we did the interview, we were all going on probably a couple hours of sleep. And it was done. We stayed with him till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. But yes, you're looking at angles, and I'm not only interviewing him, so I interviewed Andrew. And then right after us with Andrew, we went to Tristan without a break. So it's boom, boom. The interview, 7 hours of doing interviews. Yeah, back to back. But yes, lots of preparation.
And what angle did you settle on for the Andrew Tate interview? And what other angles were you thinking about?
So BBC, to me, missed the mark with him when they came out trying to do a gotcha interview. They looked disrespectful. They look like clowns, to be honest with you. And they look like hypocrites, meaning you have a guy who is working for your organization who texted a minor and followed a minor on Twitter at 15 years old. The guy ends up becoming a intern for you. Then you end up hooking up with this 19-year-old kid, whatever age he was when he did. You're married for 27 years with 2 daughters. Then he tells the story of what happened with you. That's public. You step away. Some are saying, did you get together with this boy when he was underage, or what happened to it? The interview that's done with BBC with this guy, and they say, so you've had a rough week. How are you feeling? That's the opening question of a guy that followed another man on Twitter, a boy, 15 years old on Twitter, right? And what's the first question with Tate? Are you a rapist? See, when you do stuff like that, you lose credibility. This is why people don't trust mainstream media today. Back in the days, Ted Turner, when he started CNN, he said news was the talent. It was the news that you looked up to. Today, it's flipped. It's not the news. It's the anchor. It's the individual, right? You used to watch CNN, and they would give the news to you. You used to watch Walter Cronkite. We just got news that our president, very unfortunate news today, President John F. Kennedy has been, boom, it was just news being given to you, right? The news, what we wanted to get. So a lot of these guys have missed the mark, unfortunately for BBC, CNN, MSNBC, many of them. The market is changing. People want long form. They want to talk to human beings. They want to be asked questions that those guys are thinking about, not what you're thinking about. What are they thinking about? You could ask a question you're thinking about, but what do they want to? They don't have access to me, or they don't have access to Tate. They want those questions. So if you ask the questions that they're wondering, and people are going to sit there and say, that's exactly what I've been thinking about this entire time. How is it that BBC asked this? And then, so all these different angles you think about, and then you try to be fair to, like even yesterday's interview with Vivek here, the town hall that we did. Opening question was what? World Economic Forum. It's not a friendly question. It's a question. Hey, you're tied to World Economic Forum. What do you think about this? Hey, you're Indian. Is a part of what you're trying to do to go away from China, your relations with India? Is that kind of like trying to help your homeland? Are you vaccinated? Did you take the vaccine? You heard at the end what he said, right? It was kind of uncomfortable, right? Hey, how are you going to handle this? You're 37 years old. You're 38 years old. You've never been there before. How are you going to hire? People want to have those questions being asked. At the same time, why do you think you're doing so well? Why do you think as a young age, your Twitter account has grown the way that is and your competitors are not? Why do you think America's following your content so much? We need to kind of give a little bit of both sides.
Even the viewer question about religion, I was like, that was
fantastic.
That's an
Heather,
impressive-
right? The lady that asked the question?
One of the
I
last
think her name was
questions.
Heather.
Yeah,
That was a
yes.
very impressive question. I knew it knocked Vivek back.
What'd you think about his answer, though?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
He's a great
Yeah.
diplomat.
Yes.
He's a great speaker, of course.
But do you believe him? With his answer, do you actually believe him?
I do.
I do as well.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I tend to fall for stuff like this all the time. Like anytime someone's like, "You can trust me," I'm honest. Like I'll be the
At least
one.
you're being honest about it.
No, it's true. It happens time and time again.
Yeah.
And so with him, I'm like, this is the guy. This
Yeah.
is the one I trust.
Yeah.
So it could just be me being naive. I'm
But
young.
you know what it is as well. There's a part of it where he's here last night with us. He's there shaking hands. I said, "Where's your wife at?" His wife was doing a surgery last night. She's a surgeon. While he's here, he's got 2 kids. The guy's worth a few $100 million. Started a company, raised $2.2 billion. It's valued at $9 billion today. He doesn't need to do this. He lives an incredible life. But he's still working. His wife is still working. Let me get this straight. Your wife is still working while you're worth this much money. It's more than just money when you're doing something like that. So it's not like we're above you, we're better than you. There was a good feeling about it. Now we're going to see. It's going to be rough competing with everybody else, but it was interesting talking to him. Again, the point being, you got to ask all the questions that are the good questions as well as the tough questions, and then let the audience decide.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that's a bit of an ego play? Because it seems like sometimes when people have a certain amount of money, then they go for power. And that might be in the form of going to Congress, Senate,
Right.
presidency. Do you
Yeah.
feel like that's maybe a thing that's going on?
I think what you're doing, some could say, is an ego play.
Sure.
How many more subscribers do you need, Graham? You got 4.5 million,
Gotta get to
Mr.
10.
Graham, right?
Gotta get
Why
to
do you
10
need to get to
million.
10 million? I'm running a small YouTube channel out of Arkansas with 2,800 subscribers, and I'm happy.
Although before we go into that, as you probably noticed, one of the things that we really enjoy is coming up with fun ideas and then turning them into a reality. In fact, that's how the podcast even came to be.
But what if you had an amazing business idea, but you didn't have access to business partners like us?
Well, don't worry. Today's sponsor, Shopify, is a better business partner than Jack will ever be. Shopify is the e-commerce platform that's already transformed millions of businesses worldwide. You can also customize your online store with flexible templates and powerful tools. So whether you're selling satin sheets using their in-person POS system or offering organic olive oil online, they've got you covered. So you might also know about my coffee, bankrollcoffee.com, that I sell online, and that's been hosted by Shopify for the last 3 years, and they've been absolutely fantastic. They're the only company I even considered going with because they're that good.
And also, believe it or not, before I worked with Graham on this podcast, I had like 4 Shopify stores. They were also the only platform I ever considered to sell things online.
What sets Shopify apart is their ability to turn random internet browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. And with a single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere in the world. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, and they're quickly turning into a global force, supporting brands like Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklyn, and in over 170 countries.
So sign up for just a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/ICH.
Again, that's shopify.com/ICH to take your business to the next level.
Shopify.com/ICH. Thank you so much, Shopify, and back to the episode.
I created a flow with myself, Kai, and Mario. We sat there and we said, what percentage of a human being being selfish?
Hey, what up, Bandese? Det er, hvad det hedder. Ja, må gerne tage en. Ej, jeg lægger det i smadrepakken, men det er okay. Må jeg lægge det derovre i låget. Yeah, I don't know, man. Gotta try some new stuff once in a while. Ej.
Far, hvad med computeren virker ikke, så er det godt, at du tager ved siden af mig.
Ja. Vil du have en låbesteg med os?
Nej.
Okay.
Far, skal mine toilet, mand.
Nå,
Når morgen kommer hjem.
ja. You can tell this rogue is gonna be emo when I steal his weapon.
Han lille traktor. En lille traktor. Det var godt, jeg fandt dig en lille traktor. Du var så sej. Jeg var ikke kæld. Far. Far. Sort. Far. 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 Tror du helt, at du kan køre i en traktor?
Yeah,
Kan du godt køre i en traktor?
that's the thing.
Far, kan du godt køre i en traktor?
That's the thing, Baron. It's actually in WotLK these days. You apparently play dual wield unholy. Well, I mean, you can play dual wield thrust too, but I mean, you don't really play two-handed unholy anymore, apparently. So you kind of focus around Death and Decay and Unholy Frenzy.
Far,
As
jeg
dual wield.
er for
Those are like your main two damaging abilities. Well, I mean, obviously Death Coil too, but it's mostly about having uptime on your buffs, you know, and Unholy Frenzy. So, yeah, it's kind of funky because I really enjoy playing the two-handed Unholy spec, so it's kind of hard for me to transition. I don't really enjoy it, but it's cool. At the same time, it's pretty cool, but I'm just really big on two-handed Unholy. I really enjoy it. I think it's a massive spec. It's probably the spec that I've enjoyed the most in any expansion, actually. It's probably Unholy DK, if I'm being honest. Balance Druid's pretty cool too, but I've got some really shitty weapons, so. Get me out, bros! Dude, none of these.
Scourge was not our greatest enemy.
skipping? Yeah, probably are. Oh yeah, and also another thing. Dude, I'm so fucking dead here.
Har du så fuck?
Ja, det er rigtigt.
Så skal du sige undskyld.
Ja, undskyld, ven.
Det må man godt sige, hvis man snakker med nogen. Snakker med min bror. Wow!
Hvad siger du? Au, ikke gør det, ven. Fremme. Jo, men Fjord, han er jo hjemme, men Fjord, han står og sover. I like how this guy says, "Can I need bracer?" and it's BOE. Afstand, han må godt stå. Lad lige være. Hallo. Ej, du skal ikke rykke i Hassel. Banby, wish me luck. I need big time.
Det var det. Jeg lavede det efter, at jeg
This one, big time razor scale talent. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't pull it off. Some add-on. Ja.
Speed. 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 Så du lige det her, så.
Ja. Kan du ikke hjælpe med at finde den så?
Jeg ved det godt, det er det.
Ja.
Men det er det her. Jeg kan nok finde den, som jeg spiller. Du har ikke så mange penge, jeg har. Nu må du se. Jeg kan ikke engang finde den samme, som jeg spiller.
Ja.
Du har ikke så mange baner, som jeg har. Det må du ikke sige. Kom så, du kan godt din hurtige her motorcykel. Kom så her motorcykel. Du flyver altså af motorcykel. Af motorcykel, du er altså stærk, hurtig. Så sindssygt hurtig.
Må du gerne. Trykker du bare dernede på hjørnet.
Wolala. Wow, sej. Hvad sker der med den her? Hey, far. Har man god... Hvad, det var ikke så godt. No. Hvad gør jeg? Hvad gør jeg? men. Den synker. Jeg prøvede at... Den her store traktor kan hjælpe. Den store røde traktor kan godt hjælpe. Den kan både køre...
Baron, I was saying one thing they added in Breath of the Lich King is kind of like Mythic Plus dungeons, you could say, but it's not really. It's enhanced.
Det er fordi, at ham vi var over, vi går. Han havde faktisk den der.
Yes, det er rigtigt. It's enhanced dungeons, so you see, you got normal, heroic, Titan Rune Alpha, and Titan Rune Beta. So you get like enhanced gear. So in Titan Rune Beta, you get Ulduar gear.
Wow, ja. Så.
Well, some of it anyway. Some of it is only item level 200, but it's pretty nice, I guess, for catch up. But I don't know, man. There's really only. I think there's only one slow main hand, which is kind of not cool.
Far, det er faktisk ham der fælder. Kom så. Der var det.
I mean, fist weapons. There are fist weapons, but yeah, I can't use fist weapons as a deke. But yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't played World of Warcraft for ages because I got a new computer, and well, that's not the issue. The issue is I sold my old computers, and I forgot to save my WTF. God damn, dude. We're talking like, I don't know, 10-year-old UI getting lost. And I mean, it's one thing having to set it all up, but I couldn't even remember like half the add-ons that I have. But I mean, I probably made it out to be a bigger deal than it actually was setting it up, but it's just like when you have to set up everything, you know, from details to Plata to Pitbull. I mean, all the tiny... I'm not talking about the overall UI. I mean, that's pretty easy just to download and just, you know, the basic settings, but some of those add-ons I've kind of like tweaked to my own liking, and it's just like having to remember all that shit is just really not easy. So, but yeah, one day I sat and I was like, okay, let me just at least start. The cool thing is, nowadays you can pretty much take it, because I was like, I was also like getting demoralized thinking about the fact that I had to do it on 2, maybe 3 different games of World of Warcraft. But luckily the way they run it now is you can pretty much just copy your WTF from retail to classic and to classic era. So that's what I did anyway. All the add-ons are pretty much, you know, you can use all the add-ons you use in retail, you can pretty much use in classic nowadays. So at least I only had to do it once. I should probably, I mean, this is only an item level 200 weapon, which is not that cool, but I don't know, man.
Kom så din hurtige skole.
So, I mean, while at hold, I could do.
And bonk.
Hmm. Kingsbane.
Hvis vi vælger, så er det godt være, at vi har de her ting til at gøre sådan. Far.
Ah, okay. Can you to C2? Yeah.
Far.
Yeah.
Det er fordi, vil du gerne, far?
Mm.
Vil du gerne gøre så let, far?
Yeah.
Kig på mig, far. Vil du gerne gøre så den er let til, den vil have den der vogn på.
Yeah.
Og så går det nu. Og så går det. Det er fandme forkert.
Hvordan kommer man ud af den, Patrick?
Jeg kan. Hvad?
Hvordan kommer man ud, så jeg kan se, hvordan det bakker?
Stop.
Fordi Hassan om godt lige har vognen på. Nå,
Man skal trykke på se.
se. Okay, men.
Så kan man det.
Ja,
Så kan man se, hvor
og så bakker man helt hen der. Stop der, og så trykker man på Q. Se, så kommer man på, Hassan. Så lader Hassan spille nu med det, ikke?
Nej.
Sådan, Hassan.
Hey, jeg bus. Far, hvis du var inde i det her spil, så siger du bare, jeg vil ind, og så åbner jeg op for
Så
dig.
kan du åbne døren så.
Far, så må du lige komme ind, og så lukker jeg igen. Far, og så kan jeg åbne den der.
Jamen, jeg ved ikke, jeg tror ikke, man kan åbne den der, men så skal Falke lige vise, prøve at kigge.
Eller vil du hjælpe, hvordan man åbner den?
Yeah. Yeah, Bun B. I don't know, Baron. I mean, I'm kind of just hoping. Have you seen Ghost Crawler? You know, the infamous mod from Blizzard, who everyone hated. But I feel like nowadays we pretty much just we look up to Ghost Crawler, hoping that because apparently he's in the works of making a new IP, a new MMO IP, which sounds on paper pretty cool. But you know how many times we've been disappointed. But yeah, I don't know. I'm keeping my hopes up for his MMO, or at least the MMO that he's a part of. I just hope that it's medieval. You know, I just don't want to play MMOs that are like space. You know, kind of like Star Wars and all that. I don't really enjoy that. But I don't know. I don't even know if MMOs are kind of the thing to play anymore. You know. Maybe it's outdated. Maybe it's an outdated genre. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what we hated him for. That's the balancing. I forgot that, dude. Nah, but honestly, man, you just... I know you could sit and say, like, oh, but it must be hard, you know, we're doing all the balancing. But I don't know, man, not really. You feel like it's pretty easy, actually. There's just some obvious things that's clearly just are not working. And you feel like those things should be fixed overnight. You get what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be, you know, having an entire season of PvP before stuff gets fixed. That's just... It can't be right, man. There's something wrong. But yeah, maybe it's people from above deciding, you know, that hey, we can't do it overnight. I don't know. You don't really know the entire story always. Work complete. But yeah, I don't know, man. Big thing for me in MMOs is actually not doing PvP. Just really sucks. That's the one thing that pretty much just keeps me really enjoying World of Warcraft, is having, you know, some casual PvP to do once in a while. It's always the same story for me, you know. If I don't have PvP, I kind of grow tired of playing WoW. But if I do have like regular PvP with mates and shit, it's actually it's pretty good, you know. It's so. Hun kommer om partiberrense.
Hello,
What's that giving me?
I am listening.
Time to time.
6k gold. Yeah, exactly. It's just, for me, it's just such a huge thing having something to do on off times, you know, where you're just not raiding. Because otherwise I just sit, you know, I just sit in the capital city, maybe looking for an having to sit and wait for like Mythic Plus dungeons or something like that, you know, it gets really tedious. So, I don't know, man. Did you ever try that solo shuffle in retail? I actually feel like solo shuffle was probably not as bad as people made it out to be, but it's at the same time it's just very imbalanced. You know, it's when people are not playing it, it just really sucks because it's you kind of end up, and especially in the beginning with solo shuffle, where you know if someone left, everyone would not get anything from out of the games. Jamen, jeg skal lige gøre det her, men så kan vi godt. Jeg skal se her, om jeg kan finde ud af, hvad det her det er for noget. Battle for Crusaders Pinnacle. Oh, there we go. It's tough, man. I actually feel like Dragonflight is probably not too bad, but at the same time, it's just... I don't enjoy all this, you know, flying around and all that. And I definitely don't enjoy Evoker. I feel like, man, I just like it basic, man. I don't like it all, you know, massive mobility, massive flying. I didn't like Demon Hunters either, but at least, you know, you kind of like get used to them, I guess. But I don't know, I'm a basic guy when it comes to that, and I just really want it nice and chill.
Are you seeing other unholy DKs do massive amounts of DPS when you're struggling to keep up? Are you ever confused about what you should be doing in rotation to min-max and do more DPS? Well, it almost all comes down to your opener, and not just that, but there is now a new meta opener that we're seeing for parsing and doing more damage to bosses that I'm gonna break down for you guys today. Now, really quickly, I'm not talking about meta gem weaving, which is a practice where you use a Thundering Skyfire diamond, get the proc of it to get increased ranged and melee attack speed, so pretty much getting some more haste, and then in the middle of a boss fight, just going in and putting in a new meta gem, your normal Relentless Earthseed Diamond, and switching those over. We will not be talking about that today. We're talking about a specific opener. And this is an opener I kind of tested out on the beta, wasn't sure if it was actually a DPS increase, thought it might be, but didn't really have enough logs to go through and figure it out. But also I really wanted to figure out if this was viable. And then after now seeing all of the top parses in the world right now, it is confirmed pretty much that this is how you're gonna actually start your opener. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Huge shout out, first of all, to all of the boys in Bipolar. This guild is just the best parsing guild ever. They have just phenomenal players. Alando does an amazing job putting together a great team, and you will be able to see a lot of them all use this exact opener. But what I'm talking about mainly is getting a huge snapshot on your Gargoyle, but also now getting a massive snapshot on your Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead can do 90,000 damage, 1600 DPS, just added by Army of the Dead, purely if you get a good snapshot on it. And that means we're not actually casting Army of the Dead before we go into a fight. We're casting it now during our Bloodlust in our snapshot rotation. And while I describe this in the background, you're just gonna see me actually doing this opener, and I'm not even going for a parse opener. I'm not using something like Singing Crystal Axe, and I don't get lucky with my meta gem swap. But I do this opener, and I still end up getting #1 DPS on this fight, even though I actually get web wrapped. I'm the first person web wrapped. You're gonna see I am snapshotting my army of the dead right after my gargoyle, and then I am web wrapped. With all of my CDs and all of my procs rolling, I am now stunned, and the only reason I get out of this is because I bring my own pet. Look at this. My own pet is running over here, breaks me out, and our one hunter helps break me out, and then I have to get back on the boss. By the time I'm back in, though, I am now doing almost 10,000 DPS. And I wasn't even touching the boss. Look at the right corner. 10,000 DPS, and I literally was not touching the boss. If I was here, I could have done so much more. And this is what we're going to dive into right now. All right, just as an easy thing so you guys understand the opener for Unholy DK, if you are confused at all for your rotation for Dual Wield Unholy or any of your rotations for Death Knights,
Oh, yeah. That sounds really amazing. Man, I wish I have got all shitter mates. I've pretty much got like 1 or 2 mates left who are reliable in terms of gaming, so yeah. It really sucks, man. That's like the main killer for me. It's not, the game is not that good anymore, but it's mostly just, you know, having unreliable mates really just kills it, because you end up just sitting alone waiting for some, you know, something to go down. It's just, and the problem is I don't sit online all day every day like I used to, you know. So I can't. Back in the day, I had shitty mates too, but at least I was online for 9+ hours every day. So whenever someone came online, I could always, you know, just start playing with them. But nowadays, it's just, it has to be like organized. So it really sucks. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I gotta be honest, man. I had the most fun in Cataclysm. I really had. Holy damn. When I think back, Cataclysm was so good. Even the raids, man. I don't get why we hated Cataclysm so much. Dude, I think Blackwing Descent, or whatever it was called, and all those dungeons were actually pretty okay. I mean, it was not amazing, but it was pretty okay, pretty difficult. And the PvP in Cataclysm, I feel like, was really crisp. Henrik, men vi er nødt til at vente indtil han er klar. Han er jo ikke klar endnu, fordi han er jo på arbejde i dag. Så han er ikke klar endnu til det. Jamen, hun er jo heller ikke hjemme, men hun er jo syg. Og det er damen, jo. Hun hedder Tina.
Put your faith in the light, and all is possible.
Ja. Så nu er Falke færdig. Jeg kommer.
Each of us has a role.
Ej, det kan jeg ikke finde ud af. Det er jeg ikke god til. Nej, jeg er ikke god til.
Light work complete.
Well met.
Kigger på det her. Hvad så? Vi skal lige hen og... Jeg skal lige have tørret færdigt. Prøv at se alt det her, vi har spildt. Men det var ikke så godt. I was only in the that was so bad, but that was the end of Cataclysm, you know, with Dragon Soul. I remember that. That was really bad. I really hate the whole LFR concept. I really don't like it at all, actually. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool that people can get a basic gist of the fights, but I mean, it's just I think it's a broken concept. I don't enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The PvP in Cataclysm, I feel like it was pretty fun, but it was so bugged, and there was people abusing, you know, win trading and all kinds of shit, you know, in rated BGs. No doubt. And you're right, man. I recall some kind of I don't remember what it was, but there was some kind of bug that you could exploit in PvP in Arena. Don't really recall what it was. Maybe it was something with overpower or from warriors. I can't remember, man. But it was. I mean, there's been all sorts of bugs throughout the years. So. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I feel like combating win trading and all that shit should be so easy. It should be so fucking easy. I can't believe it not being easy. It's so easy, man. Just have like a task force group. You can call it a task force group. Just have a bunch of nerds, maybe a group of 5, just sitting and just going through every single guy, you know, in top 100. Look at their most recent games and, you know, dive into their history, dive into their friends list, see who they, you know, who they play with, talk with, all that shit. You know, add 2 + 2 together and just fucking ban that ass. I mean, it should be so easy. No fucking way it's hard. Man.
King's Honor.
I actually really, how good it is, I don't know, but I actually really enjoyed it. I fired up Dota 2 a couple of days ago. I really actually don't like Dota 2. Hang on, Mom! I really don't like Dota 2, actually. It's kind of funny because I really enjoyed Dota 1. But Dota 2 just never really caught on for me. But, I logged into the message that apparently smurfing is not allowed in Dota 2, so a lot of people got banned and all that shit. But I really enjoyed that stance, you know.
Interesting.
Smurfing is something that really just kills. I mean, I don't know. It just, I guess. Yeah, come on. I really enjoyed Heroes of the Storm. I felt like it was actually a super good game, super good, really easy to get into too, which is a good thing for, you know, the longevity of games. But I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe it was too easy. Maybe it was not enough, you know, theory crafting-ish game. You know, when you eliminate the whole itemization aspect, I guess you eliminate a lot of, you know, the factors where you need skill. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. I felt like it was I really enjoyed the game. I felt like it was a good game. I felt like it was an easy game to get into. It wasn't as punishing, which is obviously demoralizing once you... I mean, in League of Legends and even Dota, even more so, when you get stomped in lane, everything is just really bad. I mean, and you don't have that issue in Heroes of the Storm.
Hey there.
You still lose you can still lose your lane, and you can, you know, get behind as a group. But the fact that it's a group play, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was really good. You were never really out of it. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about League of Legends and Dota 2. But it feels in Dota 2 overwhelming. Once you get stomped in lane, it just really feels overwhelming. It feels like there's just no other way you're gonna win this game. You just end up getting completely stomped again and again and again. Am I still in queue?
Make sure to check out the Fonzis Weak Aura. You can see my next Action Weak Aura right here. This is a phenomenal Weak Aura made by my boy Fonzis, which will tell you what to press next. It'll pretty much get your bearings. It won't tell you how to do this opener yet, but...
Do I even have Weak Aura here? Oh, I do have Weak Aura. Game board. Man, Bun B, nothing fucking beats the old days, huh? It was actually really fun. And I mean, it's not even, people love to say, oh, rose tinted glass and all that shit, but man, It's nothing about rose-tinted glasses. It was just way more fun back in the day. We just had so much fun, you know. Dude, I feel like this is such cheat though. So I just added this weak aura, but it's just, dude, when you play with a weak aura, it literally tells you which button to play, to press. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I guess you might as well just download like a script. I just had some, you know. But I don't know, I guess it's pretty cool. I guess you can still play the way you want to, but just if you're ever wondering, because I mean, right now, with this new spec, I am kind of wondering sometimes, I wonder which ability is best to press right now. But I feel like I only think about that because I don't track my my buffs, because it's just very buff heavy spec, or, you know, this dual build spec is all about maintaining your buffs and all that shit. Hun kommer om... Når der står 17. Jeg må godt lige smage en lille bitte smule, men det er mit, ikke godt? Ja, den her må du godt få. Så tager jeg den her. Yeah, I actually, but I would do that, Bun B, but since it costs money, I don't know. I really, it has to be a good game. It has to be like a game that I want to play, and they want to play. And the middle guy here has expressed, you know, wanting to play this game. So that might be it, but. I think I'm kind of like focusing a little bit on CS2. That's kind of the game I hope that they all pick up and kind of, you know, play. Because CS is also a game that you can get lucky, you know, in terms of skins. Just from playing it, you know, just from getting loot crates and shit. So. And I feel like if there's any game that they ought to be good at, it's probably... CS, you know, in terms of, I don't know, I'm not saying they should become esport pros, but you get what I mean. It's like if you dedicate all your life playing RuneScape, I mean, you can still make it big, but let's be honest, man, the needle in a haystack is already pretty hard to get into, you know, what's it called, pro play, and it's even harder when you pick a garbage game, so... I mean, I guess maybe it's not harder when you pick a garbage game, but if you do make it, to the pro scene of a garbage game. It's just really not lucrative at all, and it's just like a, you know what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Far,
Yeah.
forældre sagde, hvis jeg kommer over til ham, så sagde han, jeg selv vil dyre mig.
Falke! Skal vi have slukket GTA igen? Nej, så opfør dig ordentligt, ven. Du skal ikke sige sådan noget dum snak til Hassi. Og du skal heller ikke drille. I må ikke drille hinanden. Ja. Det var godt, ven. Du må godt lige drikke den der. Oh, wait a minute. But I mean, Baron, I'm telling you, both my kids are pretty good at CS. It's remarkable. The middle guy is 3 years old and the other guy is 5. It's mad old. The 3-year-old actually in one deathmatch game where we played against regular players, he was actually above me in the scoreboard. But I mean, I wasn't trying. I was just running around, running and gunning, you know. But still, I mean, it's he had 5 kills and I had 3 at that point, and I was like, God damn, dude. So, what is this anyway? Oh, there we go.
Fatality!
What is this even, dude? Yeah, I mean, I'm too old for COD, man, I gotta be honest. COD without all the fancy, you know, sliding and all that garbage, all those utilities, I feel like could be pretty cool, but I'm too old for that, man. I CBA getting into it, you know. I don't want to sit in theory craft and you know, train, you know, all my slides and all my nades and all the jazz. I just want to log in and just shoot. No, you're not, man. How old are you? Ja, det vil jeg gerne. Det er okay. Du skal ramme. Så tak. Det var godt. What is this quest, dude?
Fatality!
Dude, with same age then. That was pretty cool.
Fatality!
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Holy shit. It's crazy how old on paper you are, but you just don't feel old. I mean, I guess you feel old in terms of maybe your back's aching and all that, but I feel like mentally you're just not as old as, I mean, 35 or 34, sorry. 34 nowadays is not as bad as 34 like 20 years ago. Do you get what I mean? I feel like you don't feel as old anyway. This quest is really Gavanzo. I used to play COD with my girlfriend actually, because you can cross-play, you know, PlayStation and
Fatality!
yeah. what am I doing here? Maybe I should check what this quest is actually about. Infiltrators dropped. Dude, I haven't done anything. Dude, I feel like this quest is so bugged. There we go. You see? A Skybreaker Infiltrator. I have no idea where those guys are, and apparently I'm just getting them. What a bug that is. Pitbull is giving me arrows too.
Greedy.
Oh, it was a daily quest. Damn, what a waste of time. What a huge waste of time. There we go. A tank with 23k HP? Man, I don't know. Oh, maybe he's red. Oh, flew too far.
Work complete.
Where do I turn in? The hero remains there. Okay. So what are we doing? TOC? Good. Let's pray for the big daddy weapon. Let's check it out. So we need Edric the Pure, otherwise it's GG. And then it's called Aladar's Battlestar. Dude, this could be really good. Imagine if I get this.
Fatality!
Dude, if this trinket drops, I'm gonna need on it. And I feel like such a bullshit guy playing these games. Dude, I'm gonna 100% need on it. I don't give a shit. When this tank trinket drops, I'm gonna need on it. Oh my god, dude. It's gonna be so fucking great. It's gonna be epic. They're gonna be spamming trade about how I'm a ninja and all that shit. Oh, dude. Død og ødelæggelse.
Work complete.
Dude, if the one-hander drops, it's totally mine, man. Right? There's no one else who needs it. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much only the, I mean, I guess you could argue that, you know, the prod patty might think it's a great tank weapon, but he's an asshole. Yeah. Dude, Bun B, imagine if I wasn't such a lazy ass and back in the day, you know, when I was doing it big on Twitch, imagine if I was actually like a sellout who would just like sit and play different games because people told me to. Man, imagine what if my channel could have become. Dude, there was so many people who wanted to do stuff, collabing and all shit, all kinds of shit, and I just turned it down every time because I just knew that it would mean that I would have to sit and play games that I didn't want to play, and I would have to sit and pretend that I liked them. And it was just not my style at all, but yeah. Nu er jeg færdig herude. Nå, var det ikke mor? På faren. Ja. Ja, det er Tina, Anders og Henrik. Ja, vi sætter det om, så kan vi lige lege, når jeg er færdig. Du har det så lave ugen sammen eller et eller andet. Okay. Ja.
Hvem var det, der sløjede os?
Hvad?
Hvem var det, der sløjede som skoler?
Det er Falke og tror jeg.
Hvem var det, der sløjede min?
Og Falke.
Thank you, good Herald. Your words are too kind.
Lad hammer du.
May the light give me strength to provide a worthy challenge.
Ej, lad mig med rykke fra sammen. Du må aldrig rykke fra sammen. Tyggegummi. hjem 3 timer, tror jeg. Kommer hjem klokken 4, mand. Ja, det er rigtigt. Det skulle du sige til Henrik, at
Well then, let us begin. Take this time to consider your past deeds.
spoiled my grand entrance, rat. Did you honestly think an agent of the Lich King would be bested on the field of your pathetic little tournament? I've come to finish my task. This farce ends here. My rotting flesh was just getting in the way. Pathetic. Waste of flesh.
Fatality!